Welcome to the Staples Business Advantage Virtual Business Expo. My name is Rupa Segu-Burke, and I am the Director of Workplace Strategy and Ergonomics at Global Furniture Group. During our time together, I'll be going over these topics, and I hope by the end of it, you'll feel informed and empowered. We will talk about the Canadian landscape of work, the workstation ecosystem, the importance of work from home, how to build a work from home program, and returning to the workplace in a healthy way. If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat. We have reps available all throughout this session, and any questions afterwards can be directed to our booth in the exhibit hall. Let's start with what's happening across our country, how Canadians and Canadian businesses are responding to this new economy. The Angus Reid Institute is a Canadian nonprofit independent research organization. They conducted a study in June of 2020 and surveyed Canadians from coast to coast. The findings are interesting. 1/3 of Canadians expect to resume working from the office as consistently as they did pre-pandemic. Additionally, 1 in 5 Canadians say they will remain working primarily from home. As of September 30th, 2020, the Angus Reid Institute also reported poll results stating 2 in 3 Canadians, 64%, say that the worst of the health impact from the novel coronavirus are yet to come. And 7 in 10 Canadians now say they are concerned about personally contracting COVID-19, which is up from a low point of 46% in early June. According to Statistics Canada, 40% of Canada's workers found themselves working from home as pandemic lockdowns were enforced. That compares to less than 10% in 2018 who had the option to work a day or 2 a week from home. So, what are Canadian companies doing in response to the pandemic? Companies such as Bell, TELUS, RBC, BMO, and Scotiabank have asked their employees to work from home until the end of the calendar year, with many taking a cautious approach to 2021. Rogers Communications Chief Human Resource Officer Jim Reid said that by the end of April of this year, 20,000 employees had shifted to working from home. The CEO and senior leadership team of 150 people also decided to take a pay cut in order to redirect money and create a national wellness fund for their teams. Some of the initiatives included virtual health clinics, mindfulness programs, and financial planning services. On a recent employee survey, they found high levels of employee pride and employee engagement, even in the midst of a pandemic. Some Canadian tech companies, such as Shopify and OpenText, have chosen permanent work from home or work remotely programs. Shopify has also announced plans to vacate their 170,000 square foot headquarters on Elgin Street in Ottawa. Let's transition into the workstation ecosystem. I'm an ergonomist, and I hear the word ergonomics multiple times a week, and sometimes I find it loses its meaning. So let's just bring it back to the basics. The foundation of the workstation ecosystem is a fundamental understanding of ergonomics. In the case for this session, the focus is on physical ergonomics. I'll use an example that I'm sure many of us are familiar with: driving. Have you ever shared, borrowed, or rented a car? If you get into the car and the person using it before you was much taller or much shorter than you, what is the first thing that you do? Most people will adjust the seat, and then the mirrors, and then perhaps the steering wheel. If I asked you not to adjust and simply drive the car as it was adjusted for the person prior, you would most likely look at me as if I were joking and proceed to adjust to your fit. Why? Because it is obviously unsafe and uncomfortable to drive when the adjustments don't fit right. By adjusting the car setting to best fit, you have executed the definition of physical ergonomics. You've just adjusted the work, which is driving, to the worker, which is you. Why do I bring this up? I'm willing to bet that most of us have assumed the awkward working postures as a result from over 8 months of working from home. Our kitchen counters, our sofas, our patio furniture, our beds, none of these support our typically technology heavy work. The workstation ecosystem can be broken into four components, and these four components work together to cater to neutral working postures. By combining these four components, we can get ahead of discomforts, pains, and potential injuries. The first that I'll go over is seating. The second will be a height adjustable work surface. Third is technology support. And the fourth component is lighting. Seating. Seating is typically the first line of defense when it comes to setting up a workstation. A good ergonomic task chair can help to prevent back pain by supporting the spine. Look for these features when selecting a task chair: tilt lock, seat depth adjustment, lumbar support, and adjustable armrests. These features can help to create the best fit between the work and the worker. While an appropriate ergonomic task seating is important, a chair is not meant to fix all things related to discomfort while working. Seating is only one part of the total workstation ecosystem. Let's move on to height adjustable work surfaces. Getting an ergonomic task chair may feel like the first natural step, but the various work surface heights required for workers also need to be supported. Ideally, as it relates to computer work and work tools should occur on a single surface to help minimize unnecessary reaching and awkward postures. The best way to do this is with a height adjustable table. Let me put it into perspective. The industry standard 29-inch high desk height is designed for a 6'2" male, and the average Canadian woman is 5'3". At 5'3", a female needs the work surface to be between 25 inches to 26 inches. The discrepancy between your current work surface height to the height that you anatomically need it to be at is one of the biggest reasons for neck, shoulder, wrist, and arm pain. In addition to the work surface getting to the correct height, a height adjustable table helps to incorporate movement in throughout your workday and breaks up long postures of sedentary time. Technology support. Have you ever written an email or a long message on your phone or worked hours off your laptop only to look up after soreness at the back of your neck? This is called text neck, where we look down at our technology for long periods of time and we end up with neck pain and or headaches. The average adult head weighs about 8 to 12 pounds, which is approximately the weight of a bowling ball. When you hold a bowling ball, you typically hold it close to your chest before engaging in the mechanics of releasing it. That's because it's easy to hold there. Imagine extending your arms and holding that ball. Your arms will start to get tired within 1 to 5 minutes, guaranteed, regardless of how strong you are. So when we consider the 8 to 12 pounds being supported by our neck, we want that bowling ball balanced as evenly as possible. Neutral viewing posture is having your ears balanced over your shoulders and looking straight ahead. If you're not currently doing that, it's probably created some form of discomfort for you. Technology support, such as a monitor arm, a monitor visor, or a laptop riser, all help to raise the screen we're looking at to the correct height. Remember, use the tools to help the work come to you. No one wants to hold a bowling ball in front of them for 8 hours of the day. Let's talk about lighting. The human eyes and vision age dramatically. For example, you need 3 times as much light at the age of 60 than at the age of 20. And that's just the natural progression of how the eyes age. Each of us need a variability of lighting, in direction and in brightness wherever we're working or learning because the degree of lighting varies significantly throughout each of our homes and also varies seasonally, as we're experiencing now. You want to have control of your lighting at your workstation. Here's a very short exercise to demonstrate how important lighting can be. Take a look at the placement of your computer screen. If you work at a location where your screen is against a window, i.e., the window is behind your monitor and you're looking at both the monitor and the window, you are forcing your eyes to compete with different lighting from your computer screen and the natural light coming in. If you're experiencing headaches, this is likely one reason why. Try setting your computer screen in a position where it is perpendicular to the closest window. This eliminates the need for your eyes to constantly adjust between competing light sources. In addition to this position, adding a task light also helps to moderate the light at the workstation as the day goes on. Task lighting at the desk can help to reduce eye strain and headaches because we can add more light when we need to and remove the light if it's a very bright day. So why should we invest in a work from home program? There's a lot of uncertainty for the future. As a business, you are likely concerned about budgets, productivity, safety, and your bottom line. Let's first talk about why the workstation ecosystem matters. In the beginning, we were all rushed home to work. It seemed doable to work from home on our sofas or our dining tables, but we are now seeing the effects of over 8 months of working from home. For many of us, the small aches and discomforts have added up to injuries caused by overuse and repetition. So, how did all those small discomforts turn into an injury? A great analogy to consider is when a tire blows out. It's not necessarily one incident that caused it, but a wearing down of tread over time. According to an April Facebook survey from the American Chiropractic Association, 92% of chiropractors said that patients report more neck pain, back pain, or other musculoskeletal issues since the stay at home guidance began. Now, while some offices have reopened, for many people, what they thought would be a temporary work from home arrangement has become the norm. The proper work from home setup impacts more than office workers. As of September, it also includes students, teachers, and professors. And with many schools, universities, and colleges having opened remotely, the problem is even more widespread. Unfortunately, the college and university students are especially at risk for neck tension, shoulder pain, and headaches. Most young adults and teenagers are learning, studying, and working from beds or sofas, typically very much rounded over. And it's not just limited to adults and teenagers. With the increased screen time, longer periods of sitting, and sedentary posture, the sad part is that healthcare workers are seeing issues such as headaches and discomfort in young children. It is not normal for an 8-year-old to have neck pain, but chiropractors are seeing such issues in their practices. Going back to neutral posture, simply put, you want your ears balanced over your shoulders, balanced over your hips, with your hips slightly above your knees and your neck relaxed and straight, your forearms parallel to the ground, and your shoulders relaxed. If you haven't seen this posture, can you count the number of creative postures either you or the people around you have come up with? Let's talk about injuries. Injuries are expensive. In some cases, under non-pandemic circumstances, employee injuries can easily cost the employer more money than it costs to invest in a full workstation ecosystem. The cost is definitely to the company with time and money, but the cost to the employee is definitely time. 22% of all lost time claims in Canada in 2018 were due to back injuries, and 4 out of 5 adults will experience at least one episode of back pain at some point in their lives. So it's quite common. Additionally, back problems are among the most common chronic conditions in Canada, with poor posture and sedentary lifestyle as two key contributors. To give you further perspective, Ontario's Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, WSIB, reports the average lost time injury costs more than $100,000 per employee. Using these estimates and the fact that the WSIB reported more than 57,000 accepted lost time injuries, the economic burden in Ontario alone for 2011 was more than $6 billion. Some examples of costs to employers include reduced productivity of an injured worker, low worker morale, insurance, and modified work. Pandemic-induced work from home causes us to sit for longer periods of time and reduces our movement because we're not commuting or walking around an office. The distance from our computer to our kitchen or to the bathroom is typically the extent to which we walk as we work from home. Currently, back, neck, shoulder, and wrist pain claims are at a high level. Many of us are simply not set up to work from home properly. And according to the Canadian Centre for Occupational Health and Safety, an office should meet the same health and safety standards as those available at work. Along with the physical consequences of an improper workstation setup, there are also severe psychological consequences of working from home. Here are a few. An Accenture survey of insurance industry chief human resource officers conducted in June 2020 reveals that while 80% agreed that workforce engagement and productivity is high, the combination of a global pandemic and work from home may be taking a toll on workers' mental health. 55% noted that employees were reporting an increased amount of anxiety and depression, and 73% said employees are feeling a greater degree of pressure due to the pandemic. Further, some employers with staff working from home have shifted from worrying about productivity to worrying about burnout. Many people are also working longer hours. It's very easy to take an extra meeting or to finish up another task because you don't have a commute to worry about. Globally, employees have increased their average workday. In the US, there's a reported extra 3 hours per day. In the UK, France, Canada, and Spain, an average of 2 extra hours a day have been reported. Germany, Austria, Netherlands, and Belgium report an extra 1 hour per day. Additionally, some people find it really hard to turn off when there is no leaving the office at the end of the day, and this severely disrupts our work-life balance. It is important to have a physically defined workspace. Having a workstation ecosystem in the home can really help us to create a defined boundary of where we can work. The last one I want to talk about is Zoom fatigue, which I'm sure all of us have felt to some degree since March. Zoom fatigue is a new term which describes how we are socially spent while using video conferencing as our main means of communication with colleagues. It's draining, and there's only so many video calls you can do per day. The way of work has quickly changed, and the hybrid model is an emerging trend. The hybrid model is a dual location working model where the employee can choose to work from the safety of their home or go into the physical office building. This also allows the employer the opportunity to create a rotational working schedule or a more flexible approach for employees coming into the office. Canadian healthcare experts anticipate this disrupted stage to last at least 2 years, even with the presence of a vaccine. According to Ottawa Public Health Medical Officer Dr. Vera Edges, she says, we need to approach the next year, maybe 2 years, having the virus in our community and becoming better able to going back to work, back to school, go about our businesses that we need in a way that still decreases the risk of COVID-19. She says further, I don't think anyone expects the people to go back to shutting everything down like what happened in March. As we live with COVID, we have to figure out what those measures are that are responsible and feasible for us to be able to adapt if those cases occur. The hybrid model can help business to continue without being disrupted by an employee's physical location. According to a research organization called Global Workplace Analytics, which has surveyed workers internationally across geographies, businesses, and age demographics, they found that the majority of employees globally, 60%, would be willing to give up their assigned desk at the office in exchange for the opportunity to work from home some or all of the time. This preference demonstrates the importance of flexibility in the overall employee value proposition and the role that working from home can play for both employees and the creation of future workplaces that are agile and efficient. Further, 77% of the workforce globally say they want to continue to work from home at least once weekly when the pandemic is over. There are estimates that 25 to 30% of the workforce will be working from home multiple days a week by the end of 2021. Times are changing rapidly. By anticipating and getting ahead of these trends and projections, as an employer, you can set your business and employees up for success by adopting the hybrid model and marrying it with a proper workstation ecosystem set up for the home. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. The office still holds a very important place in the professional world. A global workplace analytics survey reveals distribution of working from home versus working in the office. So, when working with others, which accounts for an average of 43% of a worker's day, employees say that they are equally productive at home versus in the office, 61% versus 60% of the time, respectively. But they are more satisfied when collaborating in person. 61% are satisfied with collaborating at home versus 87% are more satisfied at the office. So there is a need for face-to-face interaction. And social interaction is required for a richer quality of collaboration and innovation. Here are some steps on how to set up a work from home program. First, loop in your Staples account representative to learn more about how SBA can personalize a work from home program for your organization that incorporates the elements of a workstation ecosystem. Second, structure the program. You can either go with a corporate directed program or an employee purchase program. A corporate directed program includes the following. The organization remains in control where they purchase the product directly themselves for employees, or the organization sets up a list that's a list of curated, pre-approved products on SBA's site, provides employees with login information, and the employee can actually go in and select the products that best suit them. In this setup, organizations either fully or partially reimburse the employee. With option B, the employee purchase program, this option, the organization is not in control of purchasing product or enforcing a work from home setup. The organization rolls out a program of selected models at specially discounted rates and then leaves it to employees to either buy what they've set up or buy from somewhere else. That may be an Amazon, a Wayfair, etc. Or in the worst case, they buy nothing at all. All decisions are left in the hands of the employee. In the employee purchase program, there is typically little to no subsidy provided back to the employees. And the biggest concern with this program is that the employee may not purchase anything at all and continue to work on their kitchen or dining table or sofas. We recommend going with the corporate directed program to ensure the best results. Third step, you'll want to build a selection of items with your SBA rep. Staples in-stock guide, I'll cover that in the next slide. And as a simple tip, keep your offering simple, but add in some variety. For example, out of all of the hundreds of chair options available at Global, your SBA rep will help you to pick the top 3 chair models that work best, and you can add variety in by selecting 3 to 5 varying color options. This furniture is going to end up in people's homes after all, so you want to provide some type of option for them. Fourth, consider unassembled furniture as a strong contender. Unassembled furniture ships faster than their fully assembled counterparts. There are fewer touch points with with unassembled furniture before it reaches your door. The instructions are always included in the box, and we offer installation and how-to videos, which will be linked in the handout. You may be familiar with the Staples in-stock guide. Global has a very similar program called Quick Ship. If you compare both programs, you will notice a lot of overlap in the chairs. These are just a few examples. In addition to overlapping product, we have a wider selection of product available, and your Staples rep has access to these resources, so it is extremely beneficial to always start your consultation with them. Who is Global? We are a Canadian company with humble beginnings and are local in every way. There are no borders to cross or an international journey to worry about. Our story started over 50 years ago with the mission of creating a chair that the average Canadian could afford. Today, we are Canada's largest furniture manufacturer, and we make our products in Toronto across 4 million square feet and employ over 3,000 Canadians. Global is 3 brands in one, and the brand you may see the most in your Staples resource is Offices to Go. Our quick ship program skips the need for our clients to wait for manufacturing. And beyond the Staples sourcebook, your Staples account rep has access to our full product selection. We recognize cost is a major business concern in these times, but quality is still very much important. Our products, every single one of them, pass BIFMA testing and are all commercial grade. Our local manufacturing allows us to meet budget requirements of our clients. We also have unparalleled national distribution and delivery and customer support. When we started, it was our mission to rise and meet the needs of Canadians. We have now grown to serve the healthcare, education, and workplace industries. We continue to do this today by adapting to the needs of Canadians during this pandemic. How can the Global and Staples partnership support you? With the rapid shift to working and studying from home, many furniture stores are running low on chairs, desks, technology support, and other accessories due to backlog, delayed shipment, overseas manufacturing limitations, shutdowns of stores, and a low stock. According to Carl Littler, the Vice President of the Retail Council of Canada, he says, I think the pressure will continue for a few months. And as more employers ask workers to continue to work from home, the demand for office furnishings will remain at an all-time high. And it will be hard for manufacturers and retailers to perfectly predict what the demand will be on an ongoing basis. So with our long-term partnership with Staples, we have dedicated support across Canada that is backed by Global's warranty. Both Staples and Global have their own warehouses to stock product. We are fully prepared to meet your needs quickly. Our teams have extensive experience on work from home programs. From a national lens, we have helped companies of various sizes across diverse industry sectors align employee health, well-being, and productivity with business needs to promote stability and, for some, growth. Examples of industries that we have worked with are banks, insurance companies, major universities and educational institutions, healthcare providers, technology companies, retailers, manufacturers, and multi-branch national organizations. To truly get ahead of the potential disruption to business operations, I strongly recommend establishing a work from home program for your employees in order to offer employees choice to fluidly move between working from home and working from the office when needed. Now, let's spend some time discussing the other half of the hybrid model, a healthy return to work. Employees are really counting on their employers to help them return to the workplace. And companies now face the rigorous challenge of protecting employee health. New protocols for deep cleaning and sanitation should be implemented along with protocols for social distancing. We have added simple, affordable elements to our product portfolio to help you adapt your furniture to the new normal of the workplace. The resources you're about to see are all linked in our webinar handout and are available in our global booths. I'll cover 3 wellness solutions we created as a response to the growing health and safety concerns, and I'll share 3 brochures that can serve as idea starters for your business. So the wellness solutions I'll talk about are the consultation booth, the linking panels, the wellness screens, and the brochures and idea starters are workplace distancing, the new normal, adapting and specifying global product, and infection control in the workplace, all highly relevant and all available for you. These are the 3 wellness solutions. Up top is the consultation booth. This is a protective consultation booth for the frontline personnel. They have practical application in healthcare, in retail, in customer service, and reception areas. The linking panels, these panels provide privacy and flexibility. The first image shows these linking panels integrated with the consultation booths. Third, wellness screens. Wellness screens are protective barriers to help prevent the spread of germs. They can be integrated using various mechanical options such as screwing it in, clamp, freestanding with a board mounted option, and undermount option for a cleaner look. A great idea starter, this brochure of workplace distancing, the new normal, will take you through multiple solutions of how you can adapt your current office to meet the new workplace distancing standards. The brochure of adapting and specifying global product helps focus on global specific workstations and how you can build on them using existing and new product. This resource, called Infection Control in the Workplace, is something that you can heavily rely on. We have over 35 years of experience partnering with hospitals to create furniture and infection prevention protocols that set the standard for safety and wellness in Canada. Applying this experience to the workplace, we have compiled the example brochure to assist you in undertaking the correct disinfecting procedures for your global furniture. And remember, all of these are on the handout that you can find in our global booth. In summary, use the workstation ecosystem. Ergonomics is meant to tailor the work to the worker and not the other way around. The way of work has changed, whether we want to admit it or not. Employers should proactively invest time and resources into work from home programs to prevent future business disruptions. Take advantage of the Staples in Stock program. Contact your SBA account representative to initiate the process. The products are available to meet your timelines no matter where you are in the country. Work with Canadian companies to implement a healthy work from home and healthy return to work furniture plan. And adapt your office space for the new normal with the resources that we provided. If you have further questions, please visit our booth. We have reps available to address anything additional you might be interested in. Thank you for all your time today, and we look forward to working together.